I nearly choked on my wine, the glass trembling in my hand as Emily's voice sliced through the room like a guillotine. "It was me," she declared, her lips curling into a smug grin as she soaked in the sudden spotlight. My stepfather, Tom, beamed with a gratitude so raw it stung, while my mom's eyes glistened with proud tears. The chatter died, leaving only the low drone of the ceiling fan. I sat there, paralyzed, my fists balled so tight my nails bit into my palms. She didn't just say that, not after what I'd confessed to her in private. "My name's Lauren Pierce. I'm 29, a social worker who spent my life dodging drama and quietly fixing what's broken. A little over a year ago, Tom got hit with a cancer diagnosis that shattered us, especially Mom, who'd laid down her life for him. When the bills started burying them, I couldn't just watch. I drained my savings to clear his debt, keeping it anonymous. The only soul I told was Emily, my older stepsister, the one person I thought I could trust. It was supposed to be a night of triumph. Tom had just gotten the all-clear, and Mom threw together a dinner to celebrate, a rare moment of light after months of shadow. The house smelled of her signature pot roast, rich with rosemary and garlic, the table decked out with her finest plates. An extra chair was crammed in for Emily's husband, Mike. Laughter bounced around the room, the kind of joy we hadn't felt in forever. I sat wedged between Mom and Mike, forcing myself into the small talk. But my mind kept drifting to Tom's easy smile, knowing he was free of that crushing debt. Then Tom raised his glass, his voice warm but curious. "To the stranger who paid off my bills, thank you." I hid my grin behind my drink, savoring the secret. That's when he pressed, "Was it one of you?" My pulse spiked, but before I could think, Emily leaned back, her Cheshire cat smirk gleaming. "It was me," she said. The room exploded, claps, gasps, Mom clutching Emily's hand with a trembling, "I knew you had it in you." Tom's eyes softened as he murmured, "Thank you, sweetheart." Even Mike froze, fork madere, before stammering, "Wait, you did this." Emily didn't flinch. "Surprise," she purred, and he just nodded, dazed but proud. I stared at her, my throat of ice, my napkin shredding under my grip. She'd lied. To everyone. To Mike, without a flicker of shame. Dinner rolled on. Tom spinning tales of grumpy nurses, Mom gushing over his strength, Mike joking about extra Jell-O cups. But Emily wouldn't meet my eyes. Every glance her way was met with her staring at her plate or laughing too loud at nothing. Her shoulders were stiff, her grip on her wine glass white-knuckled. She knew I was burning holes into her, daring her to face me. When it ended, I bolted, hugged Mom and Tom, muttered something about his recovery, and fled into the night. The drive home was a blur, my mind replaying her betrayal on a loop. How could she steal that from me, look Tom in the eye, and claim my sacrifice? And the worst part, I'd let her. I'd stayed silent for Tom's sake, but now, alone in my dark apartment, the silence screamed. Had I screwed up? I wrestled with it all night. Telling Tom might unburden me, but what about him? He'd fought cancer and won. He didn't need this mess. Guilt would eat him alive, knowing he'd thanked the wrong daughter. So I swallowed it for him. But the next morning, I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my phone, coffee cold on the table, and called her. "Lauren, hey." Emily chirped, like we were buddies. "We need to talk about last night." I snapped, my voice ablaze. A beat of silence. "What about it?" she asked, tension seeping in. "You know damn well. Why'd you lie?" "I told you that in confidence. How could you?" She sighed, long and dramatic. "Look, Lauren, it's not a big deal. I didn't think you'd freak out. Not a big deal." I gripped the phone so hard it hurt. I emptied my savings for Tom, for Mom. "And you waltzed in and took it. How's that not a big deal?" Her voice softened, cracking. "I wanted Dad to be proud of me. You're always the saint, Lauren. I didn't think you'd care." "Are you serious?" "I didn't do it for praise. I did it so they could breathe. And you stole that." "It's not like I hurt anyone," she shot back. "You didn't even want him to know." "It's not about credit, Emily. It's about lying to Mom, to Tom, to Mike. How do you sleep?" "Lauren, you're overreacting. Everyone's happy. What's the harm?" "The harm," I said, ice cold, "is you betrayed me. You turned my sacrifice into your ego boost. I'm done. I won't tell Tom not for you for him. But you're out of my life." "Lauren, wait." Her voice pitched up, desperate. But I hung up, hands shaking. It was over. A year dragged by. We saw each other at family stuff, birthdays, holidays, but it was like we were ghosts. Polite nods, empty words, never alone together. The rift was a living thing, thick and suffocating. Mom cornered me one night, worry creasing her face. "What's wrong with you and Emily? You were so close." I shrugged. "Just life, Mom." She didn't buy it. Tom noticed too, at Christmas, his voice soft. "You two don't even sit together anymore." I faked a smile and dodged. Then Emily started texting, little probes like, "How's work?" Or "Mom said you're busy." I ignored them all, each one a jab at old wounds. At gatherings, she'd try harder, small talk, questions about my job. I'd give her clipped answers, shutting her down. Once, she trapped me in the kitchen. "Lauren, can we get coffee? Talk?" I didn't look at her. "Busy," I said, brushing past. She sighed, but I didn't care. Weeks later, Mom dropped a bomb. "Emily's been going to church," she said, hesitant. "She's feeling lost. Says she's reflecting." I smirked. "Emily? Church?" She'd always been too cool for that. "She's calmer now," Mom added. "Maybe it's what she needs." I nodded, unconvinced. Another ploy, probably. Then one night, my phone buzzed, "Emily." I almost let it ring out, but something made me answer. "Lauren," she whispered. Voice fragile. "I know you hate me, but I need to say this." Silence. I've been drowning in what I did that night. It's killing me. I thought I could bury it, but I can't. Should I say I told you so? I bit out, venom dripping. She exhaled shakily. "You're right, too. Every time Dad looks at me, proud, it's a knife. I don't deserve it. I've wanted to confess. But I'm terrified. Dad, Mom, Mike, what'll they think?" "You're scared now," I said, steady but sharp. "What did you expect? That it'd just vanish?" "I don't know if I can face it," she whimpered. "That's your mess, Emily. I stayed quiet for Tom, but your guilt? That's yours to fix." I hung up, chest tight, a storm of relief and rage churning inside. Weeks later, a group text pinged, an invite to Emily's for dinner. Just a casual night. It read, her cheer forced. Mom and Tom RSVP'd yes, Mike too. I typed, "I'll come," dreading it. Her house glowed warm when I arrived. The table pristine with candles and china. Emily's smile was tight as she greeted me. "Thanks for coming." I nodded, wary. Dinner started fine, small talk. Laughs, until Emily stood by the fireplace, hands trembling. "I need to say something," she croaked. The room hushed. "I've made a mistake, a horrible one," she began, voice quaking. "It hurt someone I love, and it's been tearing me apart." She glanced at Mike, who nodded, hand on her shoulder. "Last year, when Dad beat cancer, I lied. I said I paid his bills. But it wasn't me, it was Lauren." The air thickened. I swung to me. Emily's voice broke. "Lauren used her savings to save Dad and Mom from that nightmare. I stole her sacrifice for Dad's pride. For mine." She sank to her knees, sobbing. "I'm so sorry, Lauren. I betrayed you. Dad, Mom, I lied to you all. Forgive me. I don't deserve it." Her cries filled the silence. Mike knelt beside her, steadying her. Tom's face drained white. Mom's hand flew to her mouth. They all looked at me, waiting. Emily babbled through tears, "Lauren's an angel. She didn't tell Dad to spare him. She's selfless. Stronger than me. I've hated myself for this." I couldn't speak, my heart a knot of fury and something softer. 6 months later, things aren't the same. They never will be. Emily's quieter, reaching out with timid texts about Mom, about me. I don't always reply. Tom and Mom took it better than I feared. Tom's disappointed but still loves her, and he's warmer with me now. Grateful in small, real ways. Emily's trying, maybe for real this time. It's not perfect, but it's something closer, somehow.